Idaho Matters podcast is brought to you by St. Luke's On-Demand Virtual Care, which allows patients to see a provider from their home using a computer or smartphone with on-demand care for common ailments, such as a cough, sore throat, or a sinus issue. More information at stlukesonline.org.
Hundreds of bills move through the Idaho legislature each session, and it can be hard to keep track of what's really at stake. The Connector follows the legislation that's gaining traction with clear reporting and local context you can trust. Stay connected to the State House with The Connector, Idaho Daily News. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
From the studios of Boise State Public Radio News, I'm Samantha Wright filling in for Jim Goddett, and this is Idaho Matters. Meerkat babies, a wolverine, even a prehensile-tailed porcupine. These are just some of what's going on at Zoo Boise, and it turns out that our very own Monique Esquivel is something of a zoo aficionado. So we asked her to come back on the show and tell us what's new at the zoo. Hi, Monica. How you doing?
Hello. I'm good. Thank you for having me back on here.
Oh, yeah. Okay, there's a new wolverine at the zoo.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about her. She's adorable.
Yes. So Lara the Wolverine is now viewable at Zoo Boise. She came recently from another zoo, and actually wolverines are not just hard to come by in the wild, but also kind of hard to come by at zoos. They're not an animal that is typically carried by zoos. So it was just amazing to see her in the flesh, because you look at this animal and you think, it's pretty cute and it's pretty cuddly, but then you see her scale a tree in her habitat and you're like, she did that in under a minute with those claws. My goodness.
How big is a wolverine? How big? Because you've seen her. How big is she?
I would say they're slightly bigger than a skunk. In fact, some people would look at a wolverine and the markings on them kind of look like a skunk towards the rear end and their tail area. But of course, they don't have those same stinky capabilities that their skunk friends do. They just have the same cuteness.
Oh, man. Okay, so I heard she's named Laura after the daughter of Wolverine from the X-Men.
Uh-huh.
Is that because they can be pretty fierce? I mean, they're cute, but they can be fierce.
Yeah, they live up to their reputation. Those claws, for once, again, watching her scale that tree the way she did, you definitely do not want to go toe-to-toe with her. I wouldn't. Maybe someone else would, but yeah. And the thing is, their claws are made that way because of the regions in which they live, and they need to be able to scale mountainsides because they live in mountainous regions.
Do they live in Idaho?
Yeah. They live in mountainous regions in Idaho, Montana, Oregon, Washington, and Wyoming. They also live in Canada and Alaska.
Wow. Okay. That's pretty sweet that you got to see her, and that she climbed a tree for you.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I was not expecting that at all. She was very energetic and playful, which also just gives her some more charm. But no, you cannot fall for it.
Be careful. Okay, and you told me that the meerkats had babies or have had babies recently. So
Yes.
How many? Tell me more.
So earlier last year in September, the meerkat family at Zoo Boise had 3 babies.
Oh.
Just recently, almost 3 weeks ago, they welcomed another meerkat baby into the family. Very tiny, small thing. It is unfortunately walking around with a bandage. So if you do happen to catch a glimpse of the baby, it is walking around with a little bandage on its arm. It's nothing too serious. It sounds like the zoo care team has it under control. It's a little joint issue that they're trying to help heal.
Gotcha. And they were out of sight for a while, right, with the babies?
Yeah, and they still kind of are. They're still kind of tucked away in their little habitat, but they're is a glass window that you can see them through. I was able to see 2 of them running out and about in their little enclosure. So you can still kind of see them, but they're not like out in their outdoors area.
Wow. And we all love meerkats because they're just absolutely adorable. I love this one. There's a new prehensile-tailed porcupine at the zoo. Okay, I know about porcupines. This is a new one on me. Prehensile tail? Really? What does this look like?
Yes. So prehensile tailed, that's the key word here. That's the key defining feature of this porcupine. So they use their tail because they live in trees. They spend most of their time in their trees. And they use it to balance their weight as they sleep during the day on tree branches. And they kind of curl up to protect their underbelly because that is the softer, more vulnerable side of these animals. So, if you're going to the zoo, unfortunately, Ozzy is his name. Ozzy may not be super duper active during the day. You may find him napping, but boy, does he come alive at midnight to go and snack. So he's definitely more of a nocturnal kind of fella. But we love him. We love him.
You actually went and you saw him, and he had his tail curled around a tree branch.
Yeah. Yeah, that thing was really gripped on there. There was no chance that he was going to move.
So why haven't I heard of these? I'm guessing they're not here in Idaho. We have porcupines, but not these kind?
Yeah, no. They live mostly in South America. You find them in more rainforest-type areas. Some examples of areas you can find them in are in Venezuela or Argentina. So they're not anything like the porcupines that maybe we as Idahoans are more familiar with. And contrary to popular belief, as we see porcupines portrayed in a lot of media that we see, they do not shoot their quills. They do not. You do not have to worry about projectiles coming your direction. But they can seriously hurt. They will fall off. They kind of loosen their quills if they feel threatened. And if somebody wants to come up and touch Ozzy, he will give them something to think twice about.
Oh, man. Okay. And Ozzy is part of the new Small Animal Kingdom. So is the sand cat. And I wanted to talk about the sand cat mostly because the picture on the Zoo Boise website makes it look like an adorable kitten, but I'm guessing it's not cuddly. Tell us about the sand cat.
Yeah, so they do look really fluffy. Oh my goodness. I want to take him home with me.
Kitten, yeah.
They're from the Sahara Desert. They're also from the Arabian Peninsula, and you can find them in parts of Central Asia. And they are roughly about the size of a domesticated house cat, but they are not. They love and thrive in drier areas with not a whole lot of vegetation, which is why their fur is kind of the color of sand that you would see in the desert, and it helps them blend into their environment quite a bit.
Well, absolutely adorable looking, but, we're not going to pet it, so
right.
I think we're safe. So you went down to the zoo, you took some pictures, you took some video.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to put some of that online so people can see that after the show, boisestatepublicradio.org. And you found some silhouettes of a couple of animals that are on their way to the zoo. Give us a preview of the iguana and the sloth.
Yes. So we are expecting a grand Cayman blue iguana coming to Zoo Boise. And as the name would suggest, they are blue.
Really?
Almost a turquoise, kind of very bright coloration on their top side. And they live on land, so you're not going to see them in a tree anywhere. You will likely find them sunning themselves on a rock, basking in the sun. We also are expecting the two-toed sloth, which they live in trees. That's where they thrive. They're mostly herbivores, and so they snack on things like insects and larvae and bird eggs for some protein. So birds better watch out because their eggs are food.
Oh my gosh. This has been fantastic. Yeah, I can't wait for the iguana and the sloth to come. Thanks for giving us an update.
Absolutely, Samantha. Thank you so much for having me. I love the zoo.
Oh, we all do. It is so fantastic. We have been speaking with our very own Monica Esquivel about what's new at Zoo Boise. We're going to put some pictures and a video about the zoo on our website, boisestatepublicradio.org. Look for that after the show.
This is the Idaho Matters podcast. I'm Gemma Gaudette.
Hi, it's Terry Gross, host of Fresh Air. Hey, take a break from the 24-hour news cycle with us and listen to long-form interviews with your favorite authors, actors, filmmakers, comedians, and musicians, the people making the art that nourishes us and speaks to our times. So listen to the Fresh Air podcast from NPR and WHYY.